Greetings, programs, and welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, where we are doing something quite a bit different and potentially sacrilegious here. But today we are looking at G1, Abominus, and Computron. You'll notice that these don't have stickers. These are actually complete 100% bootleg figures. These have Hasbro, markings on them. I almost knocked over Abominus. They come with, the full sticker sheet and everything. You can see right there, Hasbro, Takara. That's a lie. These are bootlegs. I got them from a friend, so I can't tell you exactly where they're from or anything. But these are actually really, really cool. So, to get this over with now, because I'm going to have to look this up, Computron is made out of Scattershot for the center guy, Afterburner for this arm, Strafe for this arm, Lightspeed here, and Nosecone for this guy. I still have not learned this guy's component names. However, Abominus is made out of Hunger for the middle, Cutthroat for this arm, Blot for this leg, I remember that one, Center Twin for this leg, and then Rippersnapper for this arm. So, there's all the names. Hopefully I got them right. Hopefully these guys are staying in focus. Something about them, the camera does not like to focus on them. So, I apologize in advance if that's a thing that's going on. But we're going to start by going through Abominus and his parts. And since when I did those knockoff Transformers, I started in this mode, I figured I'd do the same thing here. Now, Abominus is a tiny bit wibbly in this mode. It has to do with his, it's these leg guys, actually. They're head joints that become the attachment points. But if you keep those in line, this guy is incredibly posable, actually, for what he is. So, both of the arms can rotate all the way around. Nice, loud, clickety joint. He actually has a working head. Full 360. He's got his big ol' blaster gun here, which is actually a really, really cool gun. Let's see if I can... I will be fighting with the focus a lot in this video, so I apologize. My camera has decided it wants to not focus for me well anymore. He has working legs, which are very tight, as well as working knees. So this is pretty impressive, and he technically he has hips too, if you can keep Blot here pegged in. So I'm gonna go ahead, rip this guy apart, and then we will look at each of his components on their own. And this is a very thorough knockoff, actually, because this came with all of the individual robot weapons, it even had sticker sheets. It's just the stickers don't stick, so I am going to have to get repro labels if I want them actually to look the full deal. But first off, we're going to start with Hunger here. We're going to go ahead, rip off this chest plate, which can be very, very hard to get off. As you can see, it's just got two pegs right there. They go in right there on the chest. Take off his fake head, and there you can see the actual robot head. One of the most legendary Transformer faces of all time. So to get this guy into his standalone robot mode, it barely takes any steps from here. Just going to go ahead, straighten these legs down. Come back here, fold out his arms, and fold out his hands. And there you have Hunger in robot mode. And this guy being the main torso, he still keeps, you know, all that rotation. He's got elbows, he's got, you know, a downward wrist if you need. He's got a working head, something stupidly rare for G1 in my experience. He can kick forward. He can almost kick backward. He's got knees, and he's got foot articulation. So, overall, this guy is really cool. And if you want, you can actually take the shield, pull this peg out, and this will go into his arm to give him a shield, as well as he can use the gun that the combine mode uses. So you can get him all armed up and ready to just go destroy some Autobots. Which is really cool. So, pop this off. Gonna go ahead, get him into his beast mode now. And let's face it, the beast modes are what make Abominus and the Terracons probably the coolest G1 combiner. They're ridiculous. I would love to get my hands on the new ones if I can. But, transform this guy. You're going to fold the arms back up. Fold the legs back. Flip out the toes. I'm just going to straighten out the legs. Same thing on the other side. Turn the head around. And as far as I can tell, the original toy really was hollow like that too. So these are like complete mold reuses to a scary degree. Then you come back here, take the tail, fold that up over the head to hide it away. Go ahead and just kind of position his twin dragon heads however you want. And then fold out his little stubby front legs. And there you have Hunger in robot mode. Or beast mode. I meant to say beast mode. This is so cool. Like, I don't care how ridiculously long these necks are compared to the tiny, tiny tail. This is really cool. And I really, really like it, actually. So, moving on from him. Gonna go ahead and take a look at Center Twin. So to get Center Twin in his robot mode from this point where he was a leg, go ahead and grab him here. Pull up. Going to move these legs back like this, just so they help support the robot mode. Fold these down, and fold down the monster heads. You know, I'll put this back here. And he's a robot now. And he has the tiniest, most generic face of all. He does have, all these guys do have a joint right here at the head that you can fold it down and use them as an arm. These guys are what are called Scramble City combiners. So not only are they compatible with all other Scramble City guys, but every little robot can be either an arm or a leg, which is, again, pretty cool. So, I'm going to go into my little pile of parts here. Pretty sure these are his guns. I do not have instructions for these guys, so I am having to kind of guess as I go here. We can go ahead, give him this little blaster. I'm assuming this one's his, since it matches him. Bring out these pathetic little tiny arms. They're so adorable. And there you have Center Twin in his robot mode. And yeah, it's silly, but it's pretty cool. So, to get him into his monster mode, go ahead, fold these down, or, fold his arms back up. Bring the legs around. Joints on these guys are, for the most part, incredibly tight, actually, which is a big, big departure from those terrible things I looked at before. Go ahead and squeeze them together, flatten out the tails, flatten out the head, and there he is in his monster mode. This is literally just called a two-headed monster from what I can find. And it sure is a two-headed monster. He does have, you know, actual leg articulation for all four of them. You can raise the tails if you want to. You can raise the heads and reveal the robot head. And then while he can't use this gun anymore, he now has this gun that you can plug into this peg on his back right there. And I'll try to get some decent shots of him so you can see some of the details. These guys will look a lot better when I finally get them stickered someday. But as they are pretty awesome, actually. So, get him out of the way. And we will look at Blot. So, to get Blot in his robot mode from being the leg mode, done. It really is that simple. Just straighten him out the rest of the way and fold these along his back the rest of the way. Again, like the exact same head for the robot mode. Same tiny stumpy arms. His seem to really lock in place. I'm sure quality control is lacking on these guys compared to the real ones. Let's be honest. But other than a little bit of QC, these guys are still pretty good. So, for his weapons, he's actually probably the best of them because he can use both of his weapons in either mode. So, or at least in this mode, he can use both of them. Go ahead, give him this little gun right here. Then you can take this gun, which has a little side peg right there, and put that one in his other hand. And there you've got Blot in robot mode. And he's adorable. I love how just lumpy and square he is. It's pretty great. So, get him into his monster mode. Fold the arms flat down. Flip the head down into there. Locks really tight on this one for some reason. Bring these up and fold them out. These are going to be his monster arms. Make sure the head's in there all the way, and then squish him down. Bring out the monster legs. And there you have Blot in his monster mode. And this thing's literally just called monster mode. It doesn't even get called a two-headed mode or something. Kind of looks like a troll or an ogre. Again, pretty cool. Again, pretty basic looking since I don't have stickers. You can take this gun and these two holes right here on his back will take these two pegs. So you can have, you know, a back-mounted launcher. Then you can even take this gun and it will sort of, I guess it's a little loose to peg into those, but I'm sure if you tried you could make it work. Or there, peg it into his armpit. There you go. But yeah, that is Blot. And you can also kind of raise his head up. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to or not. It springs right back down on this one. Again, no directions, just pictures I could find online. And for the last of the crew, we are going to look at Rippersnapper. So, to get him out of arm mode and into robot mode, flip up the head. That's really it. Obviously you want, go ahead, bring these legs back, bring the arms back, get a better exposure for the robot arms. Same silly little generic face, same fused legs, and insane squareness. I love him just as much as I love the other guys. Go ahead, get him his weapons, of course, almost knocking over the entire box while I do it. Go ahead, give him his little gun. hopefully I'm getting the guns right. I'm literally just matching the plastic to the robot for this. So if I'm wrong, that's why. I'm purely going off of color here. But again, you know, nothing to really talk about in terms of posability, but still, great little tiny robot. So, get him into his monster mode. Flip down the arms. If you can, squeeze them down. These guys are, like I've said, really, really tight in some places. But I have been able to work them loose over time. Fold out the fin. Fold out the legs. Fold out the arms. Keep the robot arms folded up. And then going to bring the shark head up. Supposedly this thing's a lizard. To me it looks like a shark. I'm calling it a shark. But you're going to bring it up. Then you're going to bring it forward over this. And at least on mine with a great loud click. If the head doesn't try to come forward and mess it all up. There we go. You've got him in his beast mode. And this one's very weird. To me, this is land shark. But again, I heard that this is supposed to be a lizard. Okay. He does have a weapon for this mode as well. Which makes me think even more that he's supposed to be a shark since it gives him a back fin. But there you go. And last but not least, we will look at Cutthroat. So, get him into his robot mode. Just as simple as you'd expect. Flip up the head, which quite stiff on mine. A little scary to do. Fold these legs back so they become the heel supports and everything. And fold back the wings, which will at the same time fold out the arms. And there you go. Again, G1, very simple, not a ton to say, but cool for what it is. Again, same, simple, generic little head. And a bird head on his chest. So, he comes with this gun, which is kind of weird because you can either have it like this or like that. And it doesn't really hold well. I don't know if that's QC problems or this really just didn't hold well, but that's a thing. Either way, go ahead, pop it in his hand. If you can actually find his hand through the viewfinder. And he's got a little weird gun thing. Get him into his beast mode, which is basically a terror bird. Fold the arms up. Fold the wings back in, fold up the bird head, fold down the beast legs, close them up. There you go. You do kind of get a little articulation in here with the bird head. As long as you don't bring it down, you won't expose the robot head. So that's really cool, actually. So you can have it stand up completely if you want. And then you can take this gun and plug it onto his back, right here. So, there you have Cutthroat. And now moving on to Computron. Now, for Computron, a lot less to talk about in terms of his posability. He's got the same, full 360 snappy, clickety arms. Nothing for the head. There technically is a joint for the legs, though it's hindered because of all the kibble. So you can't really get more than a little bit of backwards out of it like that, and barely any forwards. This is more what you think of when you think of a G1 combiner. Just a big brick that you shove in your friend's face and go, "He shoots you, he shoots you!" And that's it. Because that's apparently how kids play with toys in the 80s. So, go ahead, rip him to bits. And like last time, we will start with the torso guy. Oh, that was convenient. So, yeah, as you saw, big chest piece. I can't find a way to use this in his standalone mode. Go ahead and get the combined mode head out of the way, which always likes to shove down his actual robot head. It is supposed to just go over that head, not push it down. Then you're going to come down here, bring out his own legs. Then you're going to bring this down, turn him partway sideways so you can bring out his own arms. And the only way to get the clearance is to turn him at the waist there. And there you have Scattershot in his robot mode. And it's funny to say, but this guy actually has more posability than the combined mode does. So, as you can see, he's got a bit of outward at his arms. The hands are made a little weird, where this one's like filled in, this one's hollow. Again, I don't know if that's something done on this fake, or if that's how the real thing is. He's got outwards, arm movement in a weird spot, but he does at least have it. Full 360 for both of his arms. Legs can kick forward all the way. They can kick back all the way if you remember to get the gun out of the way. He does even have knees. All pretty cool. He even has a waist if you've got, stuff lined up and out of the way. You have to move the back turret out of the way, but yeah, this guy's actually really impressive. So, obviously, with the other big guys, you can go ahead and give him the combined mode gun, which is very stiff. There we go. So you can use that, and he also has. I'm just going to put the box here so it's easier. But he's got these little shoulder guns that actually peg into his combiner ports. So you can go ahead, shove these in. I'll get to you in a second. And give him shoulder launchers, which are really cool, actually. Now, I've heard that he has like a third mode as well, where he becomes like a tripod weapon. I was not able to find it, and I'm not going to try and sit here and guess. Wow, this gun is really in here. 1 second. Okay, there we go. The problem's with having no leverage out at the full extension of your arms. But, yeah, so he does have this weird kind of gun thing. There's supposedly a gun mode. If you push the button right here, it all pops open and extends out. So, there you go. That's a thing he does. Close that back up. And we'll get him into his vehicle mode. Now, you can go ahead and just leave these shoulder blasters in, which means I'm going to just go ahead and leave these shoulder blasters in. But I'm going to bring that down, do his little sideways twists to fold his arms up, push down the robot head, fold up this chest piece, which on mine loves to make a lot of racket, though it's fine, it didn't break. Also, yes, I realize I just said pieced by accident. Then you're going to want to take this hand that has the little blasters there. And this works better if you put the legs actually one kick forward like that for better clearance. But you're going to want to make sure you've got that opposite where the actual nose is. Then you're just going to fold up the legs. fold out the wings and fold up the cockpit. And there you've got Scattershot in his jet mode. And it is a very, very weird sci-fi jet, but I dig it. This is pretty cool. It's pretty different. And of course you can still use the little blaster cannon in the front. So, yeah, overall, really cool. So, next up, we will do Afterburner. So, to get him in his robot mode from here, you're just going to fold this back and fold up the head. And there you go, he's done. He actually has the most accessories out of anyone. So, for this mode, he gets this little tiny blaster. Has a peg on the side of it. So this goes right there on his hand. And he can, hold his gun using the force. But looks pretty cool. Very simple again. He does actually have, rotating arms. He can look down and rip his own spine out. And he can sit. And if you pull that forward, you could actually get him to sit in something if you wanted. And worth mentioning, he does have a combined mode peg here as well. I'm not fully sure how you would use this one. I did not find any pictures of it being used, but it's there. So, get him into his weird little vehicle mode. Take away the gun. Let's see, then we're going to fold the arms straight up. Bring the wheels back, or that wheel back. Bring this wheel forward. Close that down and lock it in. Then on this side, you're going to attach this giant blaster. And then what looks like a rocket launcher on this side. And there you've got Afterburner in his vehicle mode. And it's some weird futuristic battle motorcycle from Tron. I like it. This is one of the few G1 toys that I could have recognized even before I really understood Transformers. This is a fairly iconic toy design, actually. Been knocked off, from absolute heck and back. And if you want, you can, angle these wheels down, get them a little more clearance. You can turn the blasters. So, probably the most playable of all these. And he does roll really, really smoothly. Though, balance is an issue. Just gonna say that. And when he's out straight, yeah, his wheels... Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that. These are little wheels here, too. So, it doesn't matter that he doesn't have full clearance. He's on 4 wheels in that mode. So, there's him. And then we'll bring in Lightspeed, who basically just turns around for his leg mode. So all you're going to do to transform him is that. He's transformed. He's done. Very, very simple little head. Again, as always, really simple little robot mode, but pretty cool. Little hand pegs on the inside there. I'm assuming this is his gun. Even though it does have a bottom peg as well as a side peg. Let's see. Yep. Looking at the weapons, I'm pretty sure this is his. Pretty cool. Again, simple, but cool. It's G1. You expect it to be simple. Transform him into his vehicle mode. Just going to go ahead, straighten out the nose. Fold it up. Push that in. Fold his arms up, then fold the spoiler up and around. And then there's little notches on the side here that his little hand pegs will actually go over. And then he comes with these 2 rocket launchers that go into his car mode. And there you go. You have Lightspeed in his car mode. And yeah, I dig it. Little squeaky, spinny wheels, massive windshield. Yeah, this is pretty cool, actually. You're going to find that to be a theme here. These things are simple, but they're really, really cool. So, next we have Strafe. And Strafe is a bit of a funny one. For multiple reasons, actually. But, get him into his robot mode, fold up the head, extend him out, then fold the wings back. And there you've got him in his robot mode. Now, you can take these blasters off if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and leave them attached. His head and arms do share a peg, so when you move one, it does like to move the other. Again, I don't know if that's the real thing or the knockoff, but these knockoffs seem to be pretty legit, so I'm going to assume that's a thing in all versions. So, go ahead, give him this little blaster. Most of the weapons in this set did have side pegs as well as bottom pegs, depending on, you know, how the little guy's hand worked. But, yeah. Again, you know, I'm kind of at that point where there's not a lot to say. It's G1, it's simple, it's cool. Transform it into its plane mode, go ahead. Push up like that. The hands will actually go inside right there. Fold out the wings. And flip the head around. And you've got Strafe in his weird jet mode. And again, it's pretty cool. It does have little wheels, so it can, you know, still roll around. I'm sure these guys look a lot better with stickers. Again, stickers are not a thing that I have, nor am I currently in a position to get them. But the robots themselves are still pretty cool, even without, you know, stickers. And last but not least, we have Nosecone. So to get Nosecone into his robot mode, just going to go ahead and rotate his legs around. This is the single tightest joint on any of these things that I have. Which is why I saved him for last, because he's going to destroy my hands. But, as you can see, very simple face. His arms are kind of weird because they're on these double hinges, so they can shift down and forward, as well as just, you know, rotating. And like the others, he's got, you know, the inside peg for his weapon. Very simple little bright yellow blaster. I guess if you wanted, you could have him, you know, hold it gangsta. I don't have enough leverage to get in there, but, you know, there's a side peg right here. You could have him hold it like that. Have him be cool. Get him into his vehicle mode. I'm gonna go ahead. Destroy my hand, rotating this piece back around. Up on top. You make sure his head stays folded up while you bring the drill up and over his head. Then you're going to shift the arms down like that. And then in these little side pegs, you're going to plug whatever these are on both sides. And there you have him in his vehicle mode. And again, I really like this little vehicle mode, actually. It's pretty cool. Does have, you know, little rolling wheels. The way that the arm joint works, it almost looks like he has suspension, which is a really neat touch, actually. As well as, you know, while he's on the ground, you can, you know, angle him down a little bit like he's about to start digging straight underground. Or angle him a touch up like he's just on his way out. But, yeah, overall, all these guys are pretty good, actually. Again, I know I'm not looking at the official ones. But if these are anything like the official ones, yeah, go find the official ones. I know that they have been re-released a few times here and there. Not as recently as other things, but definitely cool. Definitely worth checking out. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.